So, it's finally come to pass. Steve Borthwick has been named England coach. And I got to say, I don't think anybody is surprised. He was a clear candidate to a certain extent. I think England wanted a Englishman in charge of England after their experience with Eddie Jones. And yeah, so it's no surprise. But the thumbnail on this video is he a pale comparison? Is he a cheap imitation of Eddie Jones? It's kind of crazy to think that Steve Borthwick got his coaching start with Eddie Jones at with the Japan team leading up to the World Cup where they beat South Africa. He was forwards coach and an assistant coach, and that's where he made his bones. He went on with England as assistant coach, and they had that fantastic victory over New Zealand in the semi-final of the 2019 World Cup. And then he did very well with Leicester in like 2.5, 3 years, which if you've watched my previous video is a very significant number. So from Steve Borthwick's perspective, he's making a very good move. He's leaving Leicester at the top, and yeah, whatever happens now, he's been coach of his country, so he's done a good job. But as the apprentice become the master, that's a question, and I don't think so. I think England have missed a trick. They should have gone with Razor. I think they were offering him a contract up until the World Cup, and I think he would have settled for the 3-year contract, but I don't think that would have been on the table. Like Borthwick is a slow and steady type of guy, kind of, but he's done so well with Leicester Tigers. I was looking at the results over the last couple of seasons, and where they've particularly done well is they've done well at home in home games, and they've done well in Europe against the French teams. Obviously they didn't go all the way yet, but it seems like it was a matter of time. So Borthwick has actually done a great job in preparing his teams to play in big matches. So I got nothing against him. England have got a good coach there. I'm sure he'll do well. But it all seems to be a bit rushed. I don't know if you feel the same. If you do, like, put it in the comments. A bit rushed in terms of, like, they couldn't name the head coach for like 2 weeks after. I think it was 2 weeks after they sacked the existing coach. They had to have an interim manager. If you look at the Wales situation, Gatland was named almost instantly. Not to say Wales are any better or anything like that, but at least they had what's the expression? Their horses in a row. At least they were all lined up, and they were ready to go. But England seemed to be negotiating in a hurry. And like I said again in the previous video, is like, I think Eddie Jones made it very clear to the people in charge that he was the boss of the team, and if they wanted to interfere, then they knew where they could go. And I think like the top boys in English rugby, they just could not handle that, and they sacked him on the spot, and I think they regretted it. And I think Borthwick will do a good job. Whether they'll do well, they'll win the World Cup, I doubt they. I think they'll do well though. I know they will rally around the new coach, and I think the World Cup coming up after that, he'll be more of a threat, because he seems like a guy who sticks by his boys, and he will put in the work and the effort into building actually a strong team and a good spirit around the England camp, which they've like sorely be missing. I mean, it's obvious. There's a lot of talk about how much media had to play in it and how much the fans had to play in it. Of course they do. You know what I mean? like part and parcel of life now, you know. Even if you're not particularly in the public eye, you have to concern yourself with media representation. And I think that them getting booed off the last game of the Autumn Nations thing, of course the media provoked that to a certain extent, but that's like the fans, they responding to what they're seeing on the pitch. Like, people underestimate human beings in the fact that they think they're so easily led. But particularly rugby fans, I think, like, we can see when a team is playing well or not playing well. I think it's like disingenuous to actually blame the media for that. He didn't have a good relationship with the media, Eddie Jones, but Borthwick is a kind of a sullen northerner, and maybe that's what they need. Like, you know, maybe that's what England needs. So I'm not sure. He spoke pretty well after his appointment, and I'm gonna back him. You know, I'm not a big England fan, obviously being Welsh, but I kind of like the guy so far, what I've seen. So yeah, I'm gonna back him. But they missed the trick. Razor 3-year contract done, and I've heard a lot of talk about how much money they spent releasing Borthwick from his contract and actually paying Eddie out, and then that's before actually they pay the salary. So you're looking at millions and millions of pounds or dollars, and there's teams going under now in the Northern Hemisphere because of financial irregularities, let's call it. And you haven't seen the English rugby union step up to like solve any of those problems. And these are historic clubs that have gone down. So, you know, you can see they more concerned with like actually protecting their own jobs than they are with the benefit of the game. And I think that's the only question mark hovering over this decision now, is like the rugby unions actually. And it's like very similar to the situation in New Zealand, where the coach was getting a lot of flack, but it was like, okay, what are the board of directors doing? What it's supposed to be a business now, but it seems like still it's being run like amateur business. You know, someone's got a bit of his business experience, and he likes rugby, let's put him in charge. Yeah, not that I want it to be too corporate, but it has to be a balance there. So yeah, Borthwick, I'll back him, but they definitely missed the trick with Robinson Razor, and I think they should have got him for as long as they could get him, really, you know. And I think he would have revolutionised English rugby with the talent they've got. Yeah. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Peace.